Welcome back to Less Trauma Bond podcast. Y'all, this is episode 9. This is crazy, y'all. I went ghost on the podcast, but we're back. So this is episode 9, and today we're going to actually be talking about why should we settle when men don't? So men don't really settle a lot in relationships or for what they want, but women tend to always settle or literally make exceptions to their rules that they created. So I really want to talk about this today because I used to resonate with this a lot. Like I used to be like, oh, he has to have this, he has to have that. And then when he didn't come with this or that, I'd be like, oh, well, maybe he needs time, or maybe this is the case, or maybe da da da. Like, no, maybe he's just not the one. So, y'all, we're gonna talk about today. First thing I want to talk about is I have some notes here on my iPad. Is what does standards look like? So I think this is a good question to ask yourself. What does standards look like for you? Everyone has different standards. Some people feel like a man has to have certain things, has to be a certain way, has to have a certain personality. But also just wondering like what is standards for you? Like what is very important? What are like non-negotiables? That will maybe potentially trigger you or cause you to be upset a lot in the relationship. Okay. Because this is important. So, for me personally, some standards that I have, like some little standards, like childish standards. Okay, y'all. Not childish because they are very important, but like, I mean, petty standards. Okay. So, my petty standards is a man has to have a car. He has to have a car, y'all. I have car trauma. I have car trauma. I grew up with a family that didn't drive. So I had to drive them everywhere. And I hate being an Uber driver. Y'all, I hate being an Uber driver. I hate driving a man around. I hate feeling like a man can't get himself nowhere. I just hate a man that's not independent. Like I hate a man that's gonna depend on me, period. Okay? Just period in general. So that's one of the petty ones. My second petty one is gonna be like he has to have his own place. Like you cannot live with your mama. I'm tired of dating men that living with their mama. Like, why is you living with your mama still? Like, what is going on with you? Like, have you not grown up yet? And I feel like I can have these standards because I have them myself. So I have my own car. I have my own place. Yo, I'm 28. I've been living on my own since I was 23, 23 or 22, one or the other. And before that, y'all, I lived on campus. I haven't lived in my mama's house since I was like 19, despite 1 year, which where I was staying there for like a couple months before I moved into my actual first real apartment. So honestly, I just don't get why people be living with their mama. I get times are hard, but if I'm living by myself, why are you not? Like, you got to bring what I bring to the table. Period. So that's two of my petty standards. The third one is he has to have a career. I know you can get it out the mud with your man. I know you can build your man. And like I said, these are my standards. You got to figure out what are your standards and why they're important to you. For me, it's like if I feel like I'm out here doing more than you, like, oh my God, I'm constantly hustling, I'm constantly creating and also like building businesses and also have a corporate job in 2 degrees, and then you're just like not doing anything, or you're just barely making any amount of money, or you're not educated, I'm gonna feel like, dang, I'm more masculine than you. I need a man that has a masculine energy. You know what I mean? So just knowing what your standards are, and then what are your non-negotiables? Because those three things are also my non-negotiables. Because also, when a man is not secure in his career, and the fact of like he's not even in his career field at all, they tend to not be ready for relationships because men really value themselves based off what they have. So if they don't have anything to give, or they feel like you're doing better than them, they're never going to be able to feel like the man in the relationship, if that makes any sense. So to be honest, those are my petty standards, and they're also my non-negotiables. I also feel like thinking about your standards are like how a man should treat you. What's your standards with that? Like, is a man supposed to take you on dates? Is a man supposed to like call you every day? Is a man supposed to like, what are your standards and why are they important? Because it is very important to stick to your standards, because if you don't, you will start getting triggered that the man doesn't have these things, or they're not doing these things that you expect. Okay? Because then you're gonna try to change this man, which we're gonna get into later, and that ain't gonna work. And you're gonna always be upset and mad. Like, why's you mad? Why's you mad? You chose a man, okay? So just thinking about what your standards look like and what's your non-negotiables and why your standards look like that. Because I know why my standards look like that. I've also dated guys that literally wasn't in their careers yet. They're just going to school. And these type of guys usually don't be ready for relationships. They want to be in situationships because they don't feel like they're ready. They're not able to provide. They're not able to protect. They just don't even know what they're doing with their own life. So that's that. Okay. Why do you make exceptions to your rules? Cause y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I used to be, this is the longest I've been single. I said this on another uh podcast episode, I believe, or one of my YouTube videos. So if you are listening to this on podcast, audio, like on Apple Podcasts, or you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure you check out my YouTube. It's a Joanna thing. ITSAJAWANA thing. All right. I'm also probably put in the description of the audio, but then you can visually see this podcast. But I've talked about this before of like, y'all, I used to be in relationships back to back to back, which I'm gonna make a whole nother podcast episode about that. And a lot of those times I literally was not sticking to my standards. Like if the man didn't have a car, but he had a place, I'm like, oh well, at least he has a place. Like maybe one day he has a car, like his car is in the shop, like he like first of all, these men be saying they car in the shop. How the hell? How's your car in the shop? How's your car in the shop for over a year? Like, I'm not really gauging that because I didn't think no auto shops is keeping your car for that long. Is your car in the shop or is your car non-existent? Is your car in the shop or is your car like done for it? Like, I just don't get how the car still be in the shop. This don't make no sense. Like, baby, that don't make no. I know when I had my car and it's in the shop, I got to get that thing out. I got to pay that bill. They not holding my car in the shop. You got to pay that bill. You got to get in that field. So, I don't know. Like, so I used to be like, dang, okay, they gonna get the car. Like, they got the place. Like, or they have a car and they live with their mama. Like, oh, it's kind of hard. It's expensive out here. Like, maybe they gonna get it together. They gonna get their own place. Like, I'm gonna give them time. I would just make exceptions. And so if you're always making exceptions, we got to think about why are you making so many exceptions, okay? And I wrote down some couple things that could be the reason why you're making exceptions based off my experience, y'all. I used to make exceptions cuz I was desperate. I was desperate. Like, if y'all don't know my story, like I said, go watch on YouTube, y'all. I used to be 326 pounds and I've lost 158 pounds. So, like, I was a bigger girl and I was always in a lot of relationships. Like, bro, like, when I got off one relationship, the next man was waiting for me at the door. Like, the next man been hitting me up. So, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. And y'all can listen to my Less Trauma My podcast, Decentering Man. I talk about that a little bit more. But I was acting out of desperation. Like, as long as a man wanted me, I wanted that man. Okay. And as long as a man is giving me attention, I felt comfortable. Like, I felt like I needed that attention. I needed that love. And when you act out of the sense of you need the love and you need the attention and you need the validation, that is acting out of desperation. You have to understand how to give yourself love, how to give yourself happiness, how to be able to sit with yourself. And that's another thing is you could be scared to be alone. Scared to be alone will cause you to act desperate. Like you don't know how to just be with yourself. Like you don't know how to go on solo dates. You don't know what activities you like to do by yourself. You don't know what you would do is sit at the house by yourself. Now y'all, I used to be like that. Like I used to not go out to restaurants by myself. I would not go and do activities by myself. Like I would always be going with somebody like a friend or a partner. And then I got into this isolation stage that I'm in now, and I don't have a partner and I don't have a lot of friends. So I learned that, okay, go do some things on your own. See what you actually enjoy. Not what other people enjoy, but what do you enjoy, you know? Because you might feel like, oh, I'm going to go and do this because my man want to try it. Or I want to go into this restaurant because my friend want to try it. Now it's like, what do I want to try? What do I like? What I like doing by myself. And people also need to understand that even when they get in partnership, you need to have a life on your own. Like I see a lot of relationships where it's like that person, people in the relationship don't got friends. They don't have their own hobbies. They just with that person all the time. Like they don't know themselves. So I think isolation period is actually very important. So when you stick to your standards, to be honest, you will be isolated a little bit longer and you will not be in a relationship like for a long period of time. Y'all, I've been single now for 2 years. For 2 years, like no situationship. Like I've been on dates and stuff like that. But I mean, like I have not been like unionized with anybody. Okay. Like I haven't even been in no situationships really with nobody. I've dated a couple people, like talked to a couple people, but I stuck to my standards. Like I remember y'all, I was dating this guy, and I kind of was talking about this actually in my like in my last story time about how men treat me better now that I've lost weight. So, and how they used to just like want to sleep with me practically. And I talked briefly about this guy that I was dating for a short period of time, and I said I wasn't going to make a story time about him because he was a really sweet guy, which he really was a sweet guy. But when I met him, he had his own apartment. His place was nice, like it was central. Like he really didn't need a car, to be honest, where he lived. But I like a man with a car. So when I found out that he didn't have a car, I was like, ah, man, he don't got no car. Should I give him a chance? Like, what if he's self sufficient, can get himself places? Like, would that affect me? Why would that affect me? How would I feel about it? And so at first I was like, I shouldn't really talk to him because he ain't got no car. But I'm like, nah, let's just talk to him because he's nice. That's the problem. Now I'm done with that. It's clips for me. It's done. Like you don't have the essentials when we first start talking. It's like a checklist. I'm gonna ask you these three questions. Do you have your own place? Do you have your own car? And do you have a career? What do you do for work? Okay. If you don't fill in the three blanks, you're out. That's it. Like what are we conversating? Why do we get to know each other? It's gonna make me uncomfortable if you don't. So, anyways, I give him a chance, and I was dating him for quite a little bit of time. I think we probably dated for a couple months. He was a nice guy, but where I did stick to my standards is I'm really big on Valentine's Day, y'all. I'm big on Valentine's Day, and I don't care if you're my man or we just dating, we just talking. If it's Valentine's Day coming up, you're gonna give me a good Valentine's, and if you're not gonna be in my life. Period. So I told him how important Valentine's Day was to me. He said, okay, perfect. He is cool with that. He's going to take care of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day come, and this man don't do a thing, y'all. He don't do a thing, okay? And he tells me it's because he went to Vegas. It was during the Super Bowl. He spent so much money and blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear a thing. I don't want to hear that. I'm not understanding. I am not empathetic. I am not none of that because I told you what it was when you signed up. So that is when I ended ties with him right away. No stops, no exits, no thoughts. Right away. Like you're done. You're clips. I told you what I expect. You said you were cool with it. You didn't do it. So you're not reliable. So that is a boundary I set, a standard. So you gotta be able to, if you set a boundary to like, hey, if you do this type of thing, I'm not gonna be with you. You have to stand on it. You really gotta stand on it because a man ain't gonna take you serious. If we think about men and their standards, a lot of men's standards is gonna be based off looks, which is pretty sad. But if you don't look a certain way, they're not even going to really entertain you. And if they do entertain you, they're gonna keep it short and tell you it's a situation like we're not serious. We're not serious. We're gonna just, play around. I'm not ready for a relationship. They gonna set the boundary. They're gonna say, hey, this ain't going no farther. Or if they're not where they want to be in life, they be like, I'm not ready for a relationship. Like, you know, it's not the time for that. They set that boundary and they stand on it. The thing about women, we don't stand on it. Like me, I'm dating a guy, he ain't got no car. Didn't I say I ain't want to date no man without no car? So why am I dating a man without a car? Is it does it is it happening because I don't feel like I'm deserving of it or I'm not capable of it? Because very much I'm capable of it. Like these are just essential human needs. Like why don't you if you don't have the essentials, in my opinion, I feel like you don't care about yourself or you can't get yourself together. And if you can't get yourself together, then how can you get a union together? Right? So I would say that like people, if you're making so many exceptions, even during that time, y'all, when I made the exception for him with the car situation, I was literally acting out of desperation. You know how many people I'm gonna like? Like is not strong enough to not cut somebody off. I'm sorry. And we be knowing these things that they don't have these things or they're not equipped to be in a relationship with us before we get to love. So while we in like, let's let it go. Okay? While we in like, we would like to not see this through. Okay? When we get in love, then we feel kind of like stuck, like it's so much emotions. but you can like anyone. So I don't really take that like word too serious. Like when a guy say, "Oh, I like you a lot," everybody like me. I'm a vibe. Okay, I can like anybody. I can like somebody because they cute. I can like somebody because they funny. Like when you start to love, then you got yourself in a trap. So stick to your standards while you're in that like phase and just cut it when you see that it's not gonna work, right? Also, sometimes it's because people are scared to face themselves. Okay, y'all, I got me some coffee. And this coffee is low key bussin', and it's no added sugar. Anyway, sometimes we're scared to face ourselves, and that means also be scared to be alone. When you're alone, you have to really sit in your thoughts. Like, what makes you sad? What makes you actually happy? What do you like to do? If you can't sit with yourself, how can a partner sit with you? If you don't like yourself, how can a partner like you? So, some people are literally just afraid to face themselves, face their problems. They are avoiding their problems by being in relationships and focusing on the relationship problems. Every problem they got is a relationship. Y'all, I hate that when I see somebody on social media, because I used to be that girl on social media that be like, um low key low blowing like the partner that I'm with or the person I'm dating, like throwing shade and stuff like that on social media about them, like subliminals or all that stuff. Like I hate seeing a girl that do that 24/7. Like all day her story is, oh, these dudes don't be, they don't know what they got, or oh yeah, like but like they literally subliminals all day. Like, baby, do you even have your own life? Your whole social media is about another man. It's like, do you care about yourself? Like, what do you like to do? Like, I don't never see you on here talking about nothing but a man. Y'all used to be like that, like nothing but a man. Like you don't have no life. You have no personality. Your man is your personality in your life. And he is probably suffocating. He probably hates you, but he's just sticking it through because he's comfortable. He probably hates you because you literally have no life and you're making him your life. He probably hates you, babes. And that's probably why you have to keep putting those subliminals up on the internet. So definitely you have to be ready to face yourself. You have to be ready to be alone. Cause when you have standards, baby, somebody can come and he can might be a fine teen. He might be the best teen. Like he might look like a model. But he might be like texting you every 3 days, like, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy. You was busy for 3 days? Like, nigga, what was you doing for 3 days? And then you might make an exception because he's a fine teen. But no. Okay, you busy. I'm gonna let you be busy. I'm never gonna respond to you. Yeah, I remember this one guy, I met him at the bar or whatever. And he told me he was security. He's a security. He got a security company, everything. Okay, you sound good. Like you sound like he got his own everything, as you should. Okay, period. So I'm like, okay, I like that. Like he seems like he's well put together. He told me he want to take me on a date. I said, okay, cool, period. Very respectful. But we get to texting, and this man like will work. He would literally go through the whole day, and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was busy. Like, what's up? How's your day? You was busy for a whole day, or was you with your other bae? Like, you was with another. Please, like, this is it didn't happen twice. I said, baby, I don't care because you not my man. I'm sorry, y'all probably screaming at y'all. I don't care because you're not my man. But this is not even somebody I would entertain. We go missing for a day or two because if I was with you in real life, we would be done. It'd be clips. So why would I sit here and play and try to make an exception? Might as well cut it loose. So I just never text him ever again. You gotta stick to your standards. You got to. So, the next thing I want to talk about is dating for potential. Don't date for potential. Don't date for potential, baby. Like, I had to learn this the hard way, y'all. If you think about it, I really do feel like men don't date for potential. They will categorize you right away. Like, okay, is this the fun girl? Is this the wife girl? Is this the boring girl? Is this the girl I'm gonna actually build a relationship with? Is this the one I'm just having a situationship? And that's how they do it. Okay. So why do we date for potential and the fact that we even get in relationships with people that we see has potential to be better? Why are we dating for potential? Like, oh, well, potentially he might get a house and he might get a car, and he probably is going to get a better job. Oh, or maybe he might start learning how to communicate. The worst things to date for potential is also personality. There is no potential for this man to learn how to communicate overnight, okay? If he already don't respond, if he already avoids problems, if he already goes ghost, if he already starts arguments, if he already lie, baby, there's no potential in changing that man. And that's another thing I'll touch on because women really be wanting to change people. They want to get in relationships with people that they want to change. I don't see this fair to the man that you're with, and I don't feel that this is fair for yourself. Because A, you're trying to change a person's personality. Now, what if somebody's dating you and they're like, "Oh, I don't like that you're so loud," or "I don't like that you like stay in the house all the time," or "I don't like that you dress like this." So why is you dating me? Like, why is you here? Okay? So y'all also got to think about that in a women's standpoint because women tend to feel like, oh, I don't like that he don't show up in this way, or he don't communicate effectively, or he's not detailed. Oh, I don't like that he's not organized. I don't like that he don't call me. Like, you can't change a person's personality. So if you don't like them, leave them. Even if you love them, if you don't like them, leave them. Love is not enough. I'm really a big factor on love is not enough. People literally be people that dated me just feel like I never liked them. Like they feel like I never really loved them because I just be like, okay, now I'm done. Like you did this, we had these type of conversations, it's over. Like it's clips, okay? I have tried the balance of like actually trying to talk things through and actually trying to give things time because just leaving people is also not effective. But knowing during the dating process, being more thorough when you're dating before you're jumping to relationship. People that jump into just relationships to be in relationships are desperate. Okay? Unless you really like this person, like you can see yourself being friends with this man. Like you can see yourself like want to talk to him for hours, want to hang out with him, want to vacation with him, want to do everything, and you're gonna have a ball. Then you know that's your person. If you just feel like, oh my gosh, this person is annoying as hell. Like he don't never clean up after himself. He don't never like he's boring. He just wanna Yeah, I remember one of my exes, like, I really did not like him as a person. Like, I realized that I was like, bro, all you want to do is go to the movie theaters like every freaking week. I hate the movie theaters. That is so boring. All you want to do is like eat at restaurants and like not have a personality. Like, your jokes are not even funny to me, bro. Like, you're dry as a freaking cracker, bro. You're dry as a Popeye's biscuit. No honey, no gravy, no nothing. Like, baby, you're dry. Even y'all, I realized I didn't like him when one time like we got a little high, right? We got high, and he had like a CBD pen. And even when he was high, he wasn't funny. Like that is a problem. Like even with him being high, I did not take his jokes as a joke. I'm like, this is not funny. Like you're weird. Like it was just like, damn, this man is really weird. Like, and then when he got drunk, I didn't even like him drunk. Like he was annoying drunk. Like how am I drunk and high and I'm still not having fun? Like, but baby, when I'm drunk, I'm having a ball. I'm having a ball. So if I'm not having a ball with you, you are the problem because I am the life of the party always. So then I was like, dang, like, am I just with him because I'm comfortable with him? I've been with him in the past. And that's something we also have to realize. Are we doing stuff just because we want to be comfortable? Because we just want to have someone take up space? Yeah, I'm drinking my coffee again, living my best life. But we have to really be like, do we like this person? And make sure like we're not rushing into things. I really now have a different like view on life. Before, I would feel like, oh no, he needs to make me his girlfriend like the first month or 2 months, we need to be exclusive. No, now I'm like, baby, we're not gonna be exclusive until at least 3 months of knowing each other. I'm gonna date whoever, you're gonna date whoever, and we're gonna have a ball. Okay? And then we're gonna see when your true colors comes out. I think no man can hide after 3 months. About 3 months is when they start messing up and you start seeing truly who they are. Why are we making exceptions for men in the first 3 months? They should be out that door. Out the door. We literally would avoid so much hurt, heartbreak, stress if we get them out the door the first 3 months. If you see the red flags, if you see that there's no potential to work through these things. Also, why are we compromising in the first 3 months? That should be like a year. A year is when you start compromising. The first 3 months is you're taking people for who they are. Like, okay, can I deal with this? Is this a problem? Is this going to cause arguments 24/7? And really valuing yourself and seeing what you want. So don't date for potential. If he potentially don't got it right now, he potentially will never. And these men, a lot of them are very dependent. Okay. Watch out for the men that live with their mamas because they be the most dependent men. Literally, they're dependent on their mama at this big age. And they mamas be the most enablers you will meet. Like, they will treat them like a baby. They will cook for them. They will clean for them. They will pay their bills. They're still on their mama's dick. Let it go. I'm all for a man that respects his mama. I love a man that respects his mama. But some of y'all relationships with y'all mama is just unhealthy to the fact that she don't even make you feel like a man. You act like a boy, she treats you like a boy. She treats you like a kid because you act like a kid. Why'd you live with your mama? Like, why is you almost 30 years old living with your mama? Please, like, there's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's really just no excuse. So the next one, y'all, is we talked about don't change a partner. Like, just don't change a partner. Like I said, it's just not fair to the person either. Cause like, how would you feel like if somebody didn't like your personality? Like, why are you with somebody you don't like? Period. Point blank and period. And then if you feel like, okay, he's down a bad path or he's been doing a lot of things, don't try to change that either. Like, you're not his therapist. If you have to change somebody or walk somebody through life, you're turning into their therapist. You never want to date your clients, okay, y'all? Because I do a lot of like healing work. Like, I am a reader, like in real life, I'm a reader. I've had situations where I just was pushed like a prophetic word. Like, I had to like go and ask somebody a question about their life or like seek information for them to help them get to the source of their problems. I've done that for a couple people that didn't even know me, okay? And they were interested in me. Like, oh, they want to talk to me, they want to date me. Once you become my client where I gotta sort through your problems, just like I'm doing it because I feel like God is pushing me to do it. But once I feel like I do that, like we can't be together. Cause then I'm gonna always try to solve your problems because I'm a problem solver. I want a man that can solve my problems. Okay. I'm tired of solving men's problems. Like I'm tired of solving people problems. Period. So if you feel like you gotta solve his problem, you gotta put that man in rehab, or you gotta get that man a job, or you gotta do his resume, or you gotta do baby, you're doing too much. Is that your client or your man? Is that your man or your child? If you gotta get this man, I literally seen women create their man's resume. Why are you the career counselor for your man? Like, are you your man's assistant? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Is this your man or are you the man? Or is the grandma the baby? Like, please let me know, like, because this is clown activity. Like, if you've done all of those or any of those things, you're a clown. And it's okay, because I've been a clown too. And we all been a part of the circus. But it's certain times where you gotta be like, okay, I'm tired, I'm worn out, I've been in this circus for how many years? It's time to choose myself and stop playing the clown role because you're not a clown, you're just acting like one. That's it. So also just knowing to date with purpose. Like, what is your purpose of dating? So for me personally, I love dating. Like, I took a little break because it's exhausting, mind you, because only a few people I like, and the ones that I like, they ain't never right. So they get out there very quick too. And I've been dating a lot to the point where it's like I also have to then break it off with people so much that I'm like, okay, because I am dating where I'm sticking to my standards. So I feel like if you're weird, if you done lied already, if you done did some stuff, it's time for you to go. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I haven't even hit third base with nobody because what is we talking about? Like, you're not even third base worthy. Like, you're not even first base worthy. Like, whew, the dating field is pretty trash. So I'd rather stay single than just date and be in a relationship with somebody just because. Be unhappy because if y'all understand, like relationships be messing up your whole day. Like the only person that can ruin my day is myself. So why would I date somebody that's gonna potentially ruin every day of my life? I might as well be single unless I find somebody that literally makes my days better and I make their days better and they make me soft and I want to be that woman for them. Yeah. So anyways, a day with a purpose. My purpose is marriage. Now, I did some research and I watched a lot of TikTok videos, and we all not experts. We just living in these situations. So we know by example, right? Because we had these experiences. But although I'm looking for a husband. I'm looking for a husband. I am doing it with purpose though. I am not forcing it out of desperation. Like I need a husband. Like I no, that's why I've been taking breaks from dating. Like I date for fun. Let's be honest. I date for fun. I also date for content. Y'all love my dating content. I love to put dating content out there because people be so scared to talk about their dating life. But anyways, I don't force that husband material on anybody. If you're not husband material, you're just not. If I can't see myself building a life with you, it's no time to be playing games. Like, so if a man coming out the gate saying he not ready for a relationship or he's figuring out his dating goals, you're gonna figure that out somewhere else. Like, even when I'm on Hinge, let's say I'm on the dating apps, which I'm really trying to get off the dating apps, I have a strange relationship. Because with the dating apps, I actually go on more dates. And actually people take me on nice dates. And people treat me pretty well off dating apps. Um, what I've been doing on dating apps is I don't swipe right on anyone that doesn't if they have figuring out dating goals to the left because you're confused and I don't like confusion. If they say looking for something casual to the left. If they say not ready for a relationship, nothing serious to the left. Oh, I just got out of a long term relationship to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own to the box to the left. Period. Okay? So I've been very intentional about that. So make sure you're intentional when you're dating because like just because he fine and he said he not ready for a relationship. He fine, but he not ready for a relationship. What that's gonna do for you if you ready for a relationship? Unless you're just trying to smash. If that's your goal, that's your goal. So you're dating with intention because that's your intention. But if your intention is to be in a relationship, don't get with a man that don't want a relationship. Period. Because he gonna drag you through the mud. He gonna drag you by your braids, by your wig. He's gonna tug your wig. He's gonna bring you on a roller coaster and destroy your life and waste your time. Period. So dating with intention is very important. That doesn't mean you have to force things. Like when I'm dating, although I want a husband, I'm not rushing the relationship stage. I'm not rushing to be exclusive. I'm rushing to be at peace with myself. I'm rushing to my goals. I am rushing to my health and my wealth. That's it. I'm not rushing. I'm really not even rushing that. I'm not rushing nothing. But I know what I want. So make sure you know your purpose with dating and stick to your purpose. If it doesn't align with your purpose, why are you doing it? And that's what I had to learn, y'all. Coffee break. I had to learn that, y'all. It's like this man does not want a relationship. Why am I hanging out with him? Like why am I with this man for almost a year? Why am I being a clown? Like last season, the last person I was with, which is crazy. How do you end up in a situationship with a man you was in a relationship with? Yeah, I was in a situationship with a man that I was once in a relationship with. That's some crazy work. That is some crazy diabolical stuff. Anyways, y'all, I had to be like, I want a relationship. I want commitment. I want happiness. That's my dog. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's not gonna happen with him. So why am I wasting my time? Why am I settling around here? Make sure you are with intent and with purpose. And the thing I do love about men is they actually stick to what they want. So if they say I'm not ready for a relationship in this season and I am focusing on myself or I'm focused on my education, they will literally focus on themselves and their education. And no matter how much you try to tug them and change their mind, they don't go for it. They don't go. But for a woman, if a woman says, okay, this year I'm focused on the gym, I just want to work out, I'm not even wanting a relationship. If a man came around treating her just excellent and buttering it up and buying her flowers and taking her on trips, that girl gonna be ready for a relationship. A man, you can treat that man like he was the king. You can cook for that man. You can rub that man feet. You can put on every lingerie set you could think of. You can do whatever. You can give him the best ever. That man still not gonna make you his girlfriend. Like that man's still gonna stick to his boundary, his setting. He gonna tell you, "I told you I wasn't ready for a relationship." That's how they be trying to play you like a goofy. Like I told you from the beginning. Well, this the ending. So why we talking about the beginning? Because I thought by the end you gonna be ready. No, you thought wrong. You thought you could play yourself, which you did. You thought you can change a man's mind. No, because a man actually sticks to his boundaries. So definitely sticking to my boundaries, y'all, in 2025. That concludes this episode. I hope something helps somebody here But stop settling just to be in a relationship, period. So stop settling. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. And stop being in a relationship just because you're comfortable. You be miserable, but comfortable. Like, what for? Like, you might as well be by yourself and be happy. Why are you miserable with another person? Why are you letting another person ruin your day, your weeks? Stick to your standards and understand your standards. Understand your non negotiables. Understand what you can compromise on and what's your purpose and intention with dating. But thank you guys for watching Let's Trauma Bond podcast. I'll see you on the next episode.